And welcome back to Corvette Nation. The Vet Collection segment we're featuring on this week's episode is in a residential area, walled off from the street and in that purpose-built garage right over there. Now, we have the owner's permission to photograph the collection. He just won't be sitting down with us for an interview. We'll explain his reasoning on that in just a couple of minutes. But first, let's go inside and see what we find. The collection in this 5-door garage began, as most do, with a single Corvette, purchased in 1985. The car, a 10th anniversary Sebring Silver split-window coupe, a 1963 Corvette. The dramatic styling of this one-year-only design has proven to be a timeless classic as it celebrates its 50th anniversary. It represents one bookend to the 5 years that mark Corvette's shortest generation, C2, those built from 1963 to 67, commonly called the mid-years. One of each of the 5 years is represented in this collection. Chronologically, this 13 Corvette assemblage runs in model year from a somewhat rare black 54 Corvette to a 2012 Centennial Edition ZR1. Marking a century for Chevrolet, this particular Corvette was acquired new with a unique and very appropriate VIN 100. And these oldest and newest Corvettes in the collection had their 15 minutes of fame a while back. Each starred in a couple of tongue-in-cheek spec commercials written around the cars. Here's one of them.
It takes a Chevy to catch a Chevy.
The collection is housed in a tricked-out garage full of Corvette and petroleum-related memorabilia. It's a more than adequate man cave featuring a restroom, microwave, coffee maker, full bar, frozen margarita machine, and a Corvette safe, holding the original titles and paperwork on each car in the collection. And even better than singing in the shower, there's a drop-down karaoke screen. The collection includes a first-year Fuley and 4-speed 57, a 17,000-mile limited edition 4-speed 78 pace car, 2 Z06s, and 2 new generation ZR1s. This 66 big block coupe has fewer than 18,000 original miles. One of the Corvettes and 3 Chevy non-Vettes occupy nearby garages because there's no room for them in the main garage. They include a 55 Bel Air coupe, a 57 Bel Air Fuley convertible, one of only 68 produced that year, and a 64 SS 409 Impala, a radio delete 456 rear end original. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to guess that this collection resides in the Lone Star State. Some one-off neons and a state flag hint strongly at that fact. But since the new C7s are now in dealer showrooms and on the street, it appears it's time to bring the sign painter in for an update on the Corvette's generational breakdown. Most of the older Vettes are either Fuleys or big blocks. All are either silver, black, or a combination, and it's almost hard to believe that those from the late 50s and early 60s could be gassed up at the time for about 30 cents a gallon. A sign on the wall harkens back to those good old days. Each of the vehicles in this collection is in driving condition, and each gets its muscles flexed periodically on bright sunny days. Otherwise, they remain tucked away in this climate-controlled space which keeps them warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Like many of us, the owner of this collection came of age in the heyday of future classics, though at the time, about the closest he ever got to a Corvette was while looking at a print ad or two. Since it's located in a neighborhood, the garage and collection is not open to the public, but the owner frequently welcomes visits from Corvette clubs around the state and beyond. Okay, so why wouldn't the owner sit down and do an interview with us? Well, it's not that he was being difficult. It's just difficult to interview oneself. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my garage and collection. And if you want to see even more, it has its own website. Go to hookedonvets.com. More Corvette Nation coming up.